Well, welcome back, and a special thanks to the Nebraska Dual Sport Group and Chip Monahan. Thank you for putting together the dual sport ride up in the Black Hills National Forest this past weekend. Wow, what a great time. This is the long version of our video that was designed specifically for myself and my good riding buddies and brothers, Brian and Larry. Special thanks to you guys for putting up with me and having such a great time. What's that? Yeah, find out, won't we? Okay. Well, I don't see where that's at. Okay. Okay. Let's see what happens. Did it to win it, baby. Something different. Okay. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? I've got, so we're here in the blue dot. Right here, right? This is 218, but Custer's Peak is over here, which would cause us to have to come this way and up. Is that a motorcycle road or? That doesn't connect. While many of you out there have used the Avenza map system with the overlay of the MVUM or the mode or vehicle use maps from the Federal Forest Service, this was actually my first time using this type of a map on Avenza. Now I've got the overlays that I typically will do on Gaia, and while I've used MVUM maps on in the Mark Twain National Forest, we really don't have two-track and single-track here in Missouri on those maps. Pretty much every road we have that's marked is going to be either a wide, two-car wide gravel road or a one-car wide gravel road. So getting used to understanding this map took us a little bit, and the first, I'd say 40 minutes was pretty much testing out different rows to see, hey, what does a double dash versus a solid white versus a dot look like? And so it took us a while to get used to these maps. And if you're going to go up in the area, I really recommend them because there's no other map that I know of that shows the single track on any of the Gaia type stuff, or maybe on Onyx Off-Road, but I really didn't see it there as well. So I was real grateful to see it. Took me about an hour to really figure out the app and the map, but once we got it down, it made for a fantastic weekend, and all of the riding we did was off of those maps. So look into that if you're going to be up in that area and try that out. I found it to be a lot more beneficial than my traditional app that I use for riding. Yeah, you can take this one in front. At the next fork, we'll turn to the left. Now, when we got there, we really had no idea of what the terrain was going to look like or what to expect. So we talked with a couple of the people that were camping next to us, and we talked to Chip a little bit. And Chip just kept saying, hey, just pick a place you want to go and ride it. You'll be fine. You'll have a great time. Everything's wonderful. And in Missouri or Kentucky, you don't just go down any darn road, because half the time you're just mindlessly, endlessly dirt, gravel sucking in through the nose and coughing all day long. But he was kind of right. It really doesn't matter in this area what road you go down. You just pick a road. It's all beautiful. It's all gorgeous. The caveat to that is you have to kind of know what type of road you want. And that was where learning about the map was kind of critical. And you just have to play around with that a little bit. The one thing, though, that we kind of laughed at was Chip mentioned, he said, hey, there's not a lot of really crazy stuff here. But if you want to kind of get a baseline, go up to Custer's Peak. I think it's called Custer's Peak. And if you can get up there with no difficulty, there's really nothing you're going to run into that's going to be that hard. And I would say that for 98% of the ride, he was right. But the 2% that he was wrong, this didn't even come close. And you'll see later on in the video, we have actually a road we go up that's got some Jeeps off to the side that just about kicked my butt. Now, not quite as bad as the hill climb at the Thielman dual sport ride up in Minnesota that we did here about a month or two back, but darn close, I have to tell you. Now, the other thing, though, is that really has more to do with the two-track and dirt roads. The single track's a whole other thing. For the most part, though, with the single track, we didn't find a whole lot. We did have one hill climb that we both looked at, both me and I got about a third of the way up. I'm like, nope. And we actually had Brian go up about halfway and kind of lost control of the rear tire and went sideways. And Larry was a smart one. He's like, I'm not even trying that. So really, if you want to, you could spend a whole week out here on an ADV bike. You could come out on a dual sport bike. You could even come out on a dirt bike and actually have a blast. Just be aware that you have to have tags to ride on some of these roads. And if you're going to go on the public roads, you do need to actually have a plate. So I thought my 450 plated with a tags was great. But I will say next time I come out here, I'm going to bring my plated 200 KDX 200 and ride it out. Not the alpha one, that's for sure. Now, it doesn't show on this video. Unfortunately, I didn't get it. But about 2 minutes prior to all of these cows, we actually come around a corner, and there is this bull, probably one of the biggest bulls I've seen with some massive horns. And it's laying right next to the road staring at us. Now, I've gone through a lot of cows on the roads and, honk your horn a few times. But I got to tell you, there's something a little bit spooky about seeing an animal that big, that close, and realizing that if I agitate or irritate it, there's no way I'm getting away from that damn thing before it can hit me. Can't turn around fast enough, can't turn left or right. I mean, it's right there on the edge of the road, if not partly in it. So I was a little spooked, weirdly enough. I've seen a lot of wild animals, and about the only thing that scared me as much as that was a wild boar running down the road towards us. So, not Wyoming cattle, that's for sure. Now, a quick congratulations to Larry. This is who you're seeing riding right now. Larry has always been a big bike rider, from a 1200 GS to an 800, and a 900 Tiger that he's taken off-road. We've done BDRs together. We've taken it through Tennessee dual sport stuff. I mean, this guy has ridden it just about everywhere, including the Cat and some others. And he recently picked up the 300L, and standing is pretty new to Larry. So I have to give him kudos for giving this a go. He really did well as improving. We kind of gave him some pointers. He's been practicing on them. And I'm looking forward to the next video, seeing him kind of proper leg position, hips back, the whole thing like MX Factory guys talk about and Brake Magazine talk about and all of them talk about. And so, yeah, Larry, way to go, man. Proud of you. So I've always had a first aid kit that I carry with me on all of my rides. And over the years, I've had it in different places, top bag, side bag. And about 2 years ago, I decided I wanted it up on my number plate for easy access in case of emergency. And I looked all around and really couldn't find a good size bag that would hold that. So I ended up going to 511 Tactical and bought one of their bags. And then I've actually zip tied it onto my number plate, and it holds up out of the way from the light so it doesn't interfere. Part of that was because I used to carry a tire, like a tire kit on the fender, but that would block my light, and at nighttime I couldn't actually ride. So while I was up there, I saw one of the gentlemen actually had a different style fender bag, which was really fascinating, which you'll see right here. And I went on to take a look at it, and while I was on that website, I noticed they actually had a number plate bag as well, which was pretty exciting. And why I didn't think they actually set mine up like theirs makes me embarrassed. But if you're looking for a way to have first aid kit and keep it available and accessible, I would suggest maybe looking at something like this. What I really like about it is it's light, so it doesn't impact significantly how you ride. It's always available. On mine, I actually have both my blood type and the fact that I have no known allergies, and it says first aid kit so people can identify it. So it would be nice if maybe they could, get some Velcro onto theirs to allow for those type of patches as well. But it's just something to think about if you're looking for a way to carry your first aid kit and have it readily available and safe and not impact your regular luggage setup. This is a nice way to go with it.
Larry, I'm backing way off of you so you don't feel pressure, okay? Just do what you want to do. And there's less dust.
So as a adventure dual sport rider who enjoys single track, and when you're trying to do everything, you're going to take an everything bike. I'm on my Honda 450 right here, and
there's things I can do on my KDX 200 two-stroke that just aren't as easy as on the 450. And yeah, I mean, if you're a great rider, you could definitely have gone to the right and hit that log and boom, over it goes. But, the risks involved in doing something like that, you side wash out, break a foot peg, something like that. I don't know. When I'm on these rides, I really like to kind of take it easier. I don't mind a challenging section, but geez, I want to be able to ride for another day and a half, 2 days. I don't want to break something. So I always tend to find myself taking the easier routes. And sometimes you come up on something like Larry here followed me along the same line, did really well. But every now and then you're going to come along. So we got Brian here, and he's kind of a go-getter. So I don't know. He goes after things a little bit more than me. And don't worry about the stalling. That's just his bike. That's actually not his skill level. Those darn betas, I swear they overheat when you run them at low speeds, and then fan doesn't want to work and lose power. So he went for it right here. Boom. And that's kind of what I was a little concerned about doing is you come up in there and bam, you hit it. He recovers pretty well, but poor Brian, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw you under the bus here because you're a phenomenal rider. But this is one of the scenarios that one of our riding guides on the internet, I wish I could remember who it was basically talking a lot about the fact that, hey, we learned how to ride a lot of things, jump logs, go over, wheelie over things and learn how to power slide. And while it looks cool, we really don't want to be doing that unless we have to, because honestly, the point of riding is to ride, and those are risky situations. And every time you go sideways on a log, you're putting yourself at risk. So I'd encourage you when you're out riding, have some fun, but also remember that, you got a long day ahead of you and enjoy it.
How those ruts looking right now? Good call. Oh, there is no rider. Persnickety. Made a new one. Cattle guard. Hey, these are a little nicer than the motorcycle ones. They make those really steep. Wow. Yeah. Trailhead. Alright. We're going like whoa, what the heck? What is this? Great stuff. Not perfect. It's just kind of everywhere. Where did these rocks come from? Yeah. That vehicle. No. Yep. They don't know hand signals, so they think I'm giving them a peace sign. Right turn. My map shows going to the right. And I have nothing going to the left there. Let's see what we got. We're gonna go this way. Well, I mean, it's challenging. I don't know what's at the other end, though. Well, it's kind of chunky and spicy. That gets the heart rate up. Great. Yep. He's like, I am not stopping. I'm not losing my momentum. You're almost out of it, Larry. If it gets nasty, we'll pull out of it. There it is. There's the track. It's over here. Uh-oh. Are we all started? I gotta take a picture of this. This is epic. Hold on. You gotta be shitting me. Okay. I see the road, but there's something in our way. They got a mud bottom. Trying to get my wheel back. I'm gonna go this way, I think. Mud hole.